So, several months ago, I had the opportunity to read the book My Life and Work by Henry Ford. And there were a lot of interesting insights in that book, which I made into a full podcast. But for today, I just wanted to take a quick moment and pull out a concept that I found quite interesting. It's around that of curiosity in Ford's early curiosities that lead him into what would eventually become his development of the gasoline engine in the automobile. And I just wanted to read a few passages from the book here to help illustrate the concept of always staying curious. The biggest event of those early years was meeting with the road engine about 8 miles out of Detroit. One day when we were driving to town, I was then 12 years old. The second biggest event was getting a watch, which happened the same year. I remember that engine as though I had seen it only yesterday. It was intended primarily for driving threshing machines and sawmills and was simply a portable engine and boiler mounted on wheels with a water tank and a coal car trailing behind. And Ford goes on to say, the engine had stopped to let us pass with our horses, and I was off the wagon and talking to the engineer before my father, who was driving, knew what I was up to. The engineer was very glad to explain the whole affair. And I think that's the key moment right there where we see a young 12-year-old Henry Ford jumping up to talk to that engineer out of curiosity. And he kept that curiosity for the duration of his life. I think that's the critical point for us right there, is to always have that curiosity. Don't let others hold us back. If we have questions that we want to find out about, ask others, research them, and figure those things out. Let's keep going here and see what else Ford would say. He says, there's an immense amount to be learned simply by tinkering with things. It's not possible to learn from books how everything is made, and the real mechanic ought to know how nearly everything is made. Machines are to a mechanic what books are to a writer. He gets ideas from them, and if he has any brains, he will apply those ideas. And then this leads Ford into the development of a steam car. And he says, I built a steam car that ran. It had a kerosene heated boiler, and it developed plenty of power and neat control. But the boiler was dangerous. To make it even reasonably safe required an excess of weight that nullified the economy of high pressure. For 2 years, I kept experimenting with various sorts of boilers, and then I definitely abandoned the whole idea of running a road vehicle by steam. Past this point, after Ford abandons this steam engine, he moves into the gasoline engine, and he would work obsessively on the gasoline engine at nighttime in his little workshop. And from here, this kind of makes history for him as he would further develop the automobile and drive forward into what we know today as Ford Auto Company. If you'd like, I left a link down below for the full podcast that I did, and also a link if you would like to check out My Life and Work by Henry Ford. I highly recommend the book. It is an excellent read, my friend. Thank you for listening. Until next time, make it a beautiful day in the neighborhood.